Hi, everybody. Welcome to Melody Ross's apron class. We're going to have an amazing day and go ahead and take it away.
All righty. Hi, guys. So we have Carrie Ann and Kelly and Lisa and Robin and Sabrina. Is that right? Did I miss anybody?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I have my chat window open, you guys. And so I will try to make sure. But are you gonna be here? Are you gonna stay here, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You'll be here. Okay.
I'll read you questions if you're working.
Okay. Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah, so not a big deal.
Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do, you guys. First of all, I'm gonna share my screen really quick and show you the finished apron right there. Okay, so that's the finished apron, okay? So what is so awesome about this is that these transfers that are actually made for home decor and, they're very, very nice transfers. They actually fit this apron perfectly. It was the most perfect situation. So what we're going to do first is we are going to cover our apron in 3D gloss gel. And then while that's drying, we're going to cut out all of our words and letters, and I'm going to do a couple of fun little activities with you guys. But last time we had some issues because we only had one tube each of the glue, and so some people were very sparing with it, and this glue, even though it's going to be dried by the time we put our transfers on, this is what will make the transfers stick. They need to stick to something that is solid. Is that the opposite of porous? Yeah, something that's not porous, whatever that word is. So this goes down into all the little grooves and all the weaves of the fabric. And so we're not going to do it like so that it's completely saturated all the way through. We just want to make sure that it does enough that it goes down into all the grooves of all of the weave of the fabric. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because we want to have time for this to dry. It's so funny because the first time I taught this class, I told Elena, I was like, I don't think this is going to take 3 hours. I think that's too long. And it did take 3 hours. So even though it's, a project that looks kind of simple, it is going to take us a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and open up well, first of all, you need your apron on a flat surface. Yeah, Jamie, would you put me on, there we go. You need your apron on a flat surface, and because we're going to be scraping, and if you have something to scrape with, that's really the only tool you're going to need. I typically use an old key card or an old credit card. There's actual scrapers you can buy, and I actually didn't have one with me, and so I cut out the plastic from some cottage cheese, and it's going to work great. So anything that you have that you can use to scrape. So I'm just going to put this on here and show you just kind of about how much we're going to use. And I don't know if you guys can see how that, looks. It looks white. So you want to make sure that it is scraped on there, but not so thick that it's going to be like completely soaked, and because then it'll make your apron hard and not pliable. Because this medium is so awesome. It is quite flexible with the fabric, but if you put on too much, it's still going to have kind of a plasticky sort of finish, which is nice because it will be wipeable. It's not washable to put into a washing machine, but you can wipe it because of this 3D gloss gel. So even if you did wear this, was it Kelly, were you the one that was worried about getting it dirty? If you got paint on this or something, you really could take a paper towel or something and wipe it off before it dried because of this gloss gel. It'll make it so it doesn't soak into the fabric. Okay, so we're going to be doing the edges with words and transfers. So make sure when you're doing this that you go all the way to the edges, okay? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Is everybody pretty clear on what we're doing right now? Make sure nobody's lost or anything.
Sabrina says, yep.
Okay, awesome. You could do this with a big paintbrush too. It would go more into it. This is kind of sit on the surface, but if you don't have something to scrape with, you could still use a big paintbrush. The scraper makes it go much faster than a paintbrush because it does such a large amount at once.
Melody, does it need to have so much soft gloss that you have to use a paintbrush? But obviously you're not.
No, I'm not. I would prefer to use a scraper just because it makes such nice even film across the top. I was just saying if you didn't have a scraper and you needed to use paintbrush, you could. In fact, I would probably use my fingers over a paintbrush even just so it gets, but you, I wouldn't use my fingers right now because it'll make a big huge mess, but you just really want an even coat of it all over the entire apron. But you don't want it to get like it. Sometimes if you use a paintbrush, it kind of forces it to go into the fibers and it might make it more saturated than it needs to be. But okay, just make sure it's really even because that's so important for how the transfers stick. Like I said, last time we had a few people have difficulty keeping their transfers stuck down and they started to peel up after they dried because they didn't have enough of this gel. And so then but it was fixable because then you can just put gel over the top, kind of glue it over the top. But this way it makes the transfers go on so buttery because they have a nice, rigid, smooth surface.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Melody?
Well, what do you want to know? There's a lot. Okay. The basics are what I do, I'm an artist and I'm a writer. I love to create pieces like this, but my main part of my career is doing soul work with people through art. We do all sorts of, it's kind of like art therapy, but it's all with matters of the soul. I have a free Facebook group called Creative Soul Searching. And I have a YouTube channel where I just have free art projects that help you heal and find yourself and figure out what you want to do with your life and things like that. I've been married for 31 years. I have 5 kids and I have 5 grandkids. 3 of my kids are married. My 2 youngest are in college. And when my last boy graduated from high school, we decided to get rid of everything and go be nomads for a while. So we've been doing that for about 2 years. My husband had a brain injury about 16 years ago.
Oh no.
A traumatic brain injury. And that changed our life massively. So one of the things that happened, it was a frontal lobe brain injury, is he does not do well with a lot of stimulation, crowds of people, noise, stress. And so we do the best when we're just in the mountains, or he does really well with horses. He has a ton of skills. He's super talented, but we just have had to adjust our lifestyle to be very as stress-free as we can and as quiet and honestly like as few people. so we mostly live we're mostly like hiking or up in the mountains or with so we go stay with friends a lot. He's like I said, he's a welder and a carpenter, and so he'll be friends that like need a deck built or something like that. And because we have an RV, we just go stay with people while we're doing projects. Or so anyway, that's how our life is right now. But we also the way he had his brain injuries because he's an extreme athlete. And so we're always doing something very exciting and active in the wilderness or somewhere in nature. So that's how my life is now. It's not what I thought it was going to be at this age, but but is it ever? I mean,
right.
You just got to roll with what happens in life, right?
Make and Kelly says, that is awesome that you can do that with your life. And I was actually just thinking the same thing. That is absolutely awesome. Amazing.
You know what? The fact that we have the internet, and I had an online school for years and years. I was one of the first ones to do online classes, like 15 years ago, like when the internet was pretty new. And so I'm so grateful, because if we didn't have the internet, there's no way that we could have this lifestyle. And it's definitely not a lifestyle that's for everybody.
Right.
But it works for us, and it works for what his condition,
Yeah, it sounds amazing for what you need.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. I mean, the fact that I can be out in the middle of nowhere teaching you guys wherever you guys are in other countries, and that we can do this, that's a miracle. Technology is so awesome.
Definitely. It has been an amazing ride with the art venture and everything.
Yeah. I even think the pandemic has shown people like how much stuff we can actually do without leaving our house.
Yeah.
Through Zoom and things like that. Of course, we all need to get back in practice of not being isolated. It's interesting how much practice it takes to be around people.
Oh yeah.
You feel so awkward. You're just like, oh, I haven't been around people in so long.
And Kelly is asking, how did you downsize your supplies?
Oh my gosh. I was just talking to somebody about this morning that's downsizing. I'm actually starting to coach people who are having to downsize financially, because of financial reasons. First of all, honestly, I'm going to tell you, it's brutal. You cry a lot. There's a lot of grieving, especially because we've been married almost 30 years when we did it. Mm-hmm. And I had been having retreats at my ranch for 10 years. And so I had enough stuff of everything for 40 people. I had enough supplies, bedding, dishes, decorations, lawn furniture, everything. So in my mind, I was like, oh man, if there's ever a terrible apocalypse or whatever, I'm going to be able to take care of 40 people. I have all this stuff. And then we had to narrow it down to 2 people. So first of all, I had to let myself grieve and cry over the whole situation. And then from there, I just started, what made it easier for me was when I found out things that people needed. And I was like, okay, they need this more than I do. I'm going to give it. So I started just giving things to people. And that felt really good. Because it's hard to get rid of I've been collecting beautiful things for 30 years, like supplies and just beautiful things, because we're artists. We like beautiful things. Clothes, because I had an online school and I used to, be on a lot of TV shows and magazines and stuff. And I had tons of clothes I'd been collecting for years. I had to get rid of that. And it took probably 4 months. I gave away a lot of my favorite stuff. I kept a lot of stuff. I actually still have a lot because we have a storage unit, but I got rid of probably 70% of it. But what I did, like for in here, I have a box that's like this big and it has a lid. It's a plastic box with hinges. And I just filled it with, because we have a storage unit, I'll fill it with whatever I need for whatever project I'm working on. So I don't feel like I have to bring everything. I also started doing this painting technique where I'm actually painting with dried paint. It's, I'm calling it faux mosaic. And so I make all these pieces of dried paint and I bring those with me to glue together like in a collage. So that I don't have anything messy in here. I do a lot of cut and paste journaling, art journaling, just with cutting and pasting things. And so that's really what's mostly in my box. And then right now this summer, I am totally decking out and embroidering this pair of jeans. And so that was a small amount of stuff, but that will keep me busy all the time. but because I have a storage unit, I just go back and forth, and I only bring the stuff for specific projects that I'm working on. Like all my stuff that was for this was in one little box, and I had that with me. But the sorting and going through stuff, I don't know. I don't know an easy way to do it. You just have to do it. And I just kept having to tell myself, this is freedom. I'm working toward freedom. I had to keep reminding myself what the end goal was, because man, it's hard to get rid of stuff. It just is. It's easy for some people. It's really easy for my husband. He's a minimalist. Some of my kids are too, and they're just like, just get rid of it. And I don't know. You have emotional attachments to things, and
yes.
What shocked me too is how much my kids don't want my crap. Like I kept saving all this stuff, thinking my kids are gonna want this someday. They do not. They don't. They want to gather their own things. They don't want my stuff.
Right.
So anyway, it was very much a learning process.
Well, Kelly says that is really wonderful to hear how you went through and let go. That is so healing. Thank God you were able to go through that. And she says, that's where I am right now. Breathe through it. I know she's doing a huge job on reorganizing her whole studio and working on her house and everything. So that's why.
The other thing that I learned, and I know there's probably some scientific explanation for this, but I swear stuff has energy and memories attached to it. And it's like when I started getting rid of stuff, everything, my house felt lighter. Everything just started feeling, the energy was different. And so I don't know. I think if you haven't, my thing with clothing is if I haven't worn it in a year, I get rid of it. And sometimes even 6 months, but like with art supplies, because we're all so creative, we're like, I know I could use that for something someday. And it's just so hard. It's like it's like throwing away possibilities, and it's very hard to do.
That's a very good way of putting it. Possibility. Yeah. Yes.
Well, and also just like, it's almost like sometimes it feels like giving up. It's like, but I really was going to do this. And you kind of have to just go, I guess I'm not going to get to do this, or I just have to admit that, this has been sitting in this box for 8 years. I probably never would have done it, but I don't know. There's just a whole lot of reckoning that you got to do with yourself the whole time. But it's worth it.
That's such a big part of it. I have to keep it until.
Yeah. And we can always make a reason. We can always be like, oh, I know what I'll do with it. Or my thing is, because I have 5 kids too, I was always like, what if my kids need this someday? And my kids are just like, Mom, if I need it, it costs $1 at the dollar store. I'll go get it myself.
Right.
I'll go pick out my own. Okay, when you guys are done with this, just go set it aside somewhere flat to dry.
How's everyone doing? Have you finished your apron yet? How close are you to being done? And Sabrina says, that is me. I had to move my 1st grade class and move to a 4th grade class, getting rid of all the things that I know I can use for something else, but had to let it go because of COVID.
Yeah.
Nothing in my room now, just a room of my storage.
Man, it's hard. It's so hard. So many things like that happen because of COVID. And I've been talking to a lot of mental health professionals, because like I said, I create curriculum for healing. And so I'm working with a couple of different mental health professionals right now to create some post-COVID curriculum, because people don't even realize how much PTSD and trauma they have just from all the things that happened from COVID, that like, it's pretty serious. And when things start to get back to normal or whatever, that's when we're going to start seeing like, oh my gosh, I need to heal from some stuff, like that, like just the grief. I mean, you might not think it's a big deal because so many people are dying and everything. You're not thinking about the things that you've had to adjust to or let go of, or, I mean, it's almost like a death, moving from your 4th grade class or 1st grade class to 4th grade class. That's like, you have to grieve your 1st grade class and everything that went with it. And there's like million things that we have to grieve right now. And so we do art, right? That's what we do.
Definitely.
Okay, I just got these awesome cards for creativity. They have all these great ideas. So while you guys are finishing, I'm gonna read you each. I'm gonna get you guys each a card just randomly. So pretty. What?
Carrie Ann says that would destroy my mojo, I think. I would just think of everything I could have done with the stuff I gave away. I need my stuff.
I know. That's exactly how I felt, Carrie Ann. I thought I was never going to survive it. But what it did was it made me be resourceful with what I had left and actually made me more creative. And I still do think about the stuff that I wish I had, but then I have to find a solution. And that makes you be creative. Like when you have to come up with solutions and be resourceful, sometimes that's when you come out with your very best ideas. Okay.
And
so what were you going to say?
Sabrina says, it is why I cried through your last class, and I am finding so much joy in the Facebook group for Prima Art Venture.
Awesome.
It's amazing, Sabrina.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
We need community so much right now.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So this one's for what?
What cards?
They're just called creativity cards. They're made by these two artists, and they have these amazing little verses or whatever that go with each one. So
well, they look amazing.
Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful, and they're gold they're so pretty. I just love them. So I just thought while you guys are finishing, I would pull out one for each of you. Okay, so this one's for Carrie Ann, and it is Evolve. So we'll read that in a minute. Let's see. This one's for Kelly. Visualize. This one's for Lisa. Introspection. And then we'll read what they say. Let's see. This one is for Robin. Habits. Ooh. And let's get one for you, Sabrina. Oh, I got two. I guess one is for Jamie too. Okay. All right, so let's read Evolve. What it says is, creative ideas evolve out of the invisible and profound nothingness of proverbial consciousness. Okay, so how close are you guys to being done? Let me know when you're ready to move on to the next step. I'm going to read all these, but we'll come back and read the actual things from them. Visualize. When we develop our abilities to visualize, we can manifest maximum influence on our experience of reality. Introspection. Introspection is often necessary to deepen our awareness of the unity and divinity of life. Habits. Examine habits that may impede the pathways to your goals and encourage beneficial ones. Precision. The desire to do things precisely is useful as long as it does not devolve into rigidity. Gosh, I had that problem.
That's me.
Insight. See beyond appearances, masks, cliches, and cultural stereotypes to gain insight. Okay, so we'll read those ones a little bit later.
So Sabrina and Robin are ready to move on. I know that Carrie Ann and Kelly are not doing the class. Lisa might be able to, but it's okay to go ahead and move on.
Okay.
They said
all right.
Sabrina's drying.
Awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up these transfers, okay? So they have a little piece of tape right here. You got to undo. And it's okay because the transfer is actually on the other side. I'm just going to cut it because it doesn't want to come off very easily. And then we're going to unroll it. Okay, so I'm just going to go. We're going to use this piece right here, okay? And we're going to use this piece and this piece right here. And this butterfly, which has the top of its wings right here. So you got to make sure and cut that out, okay? And I'm going to show you again the apron. We're going to use all of this, all right? Okay, let me show you the apron again so I can show you. Okay, so see, that's those sides that I was showing you. And this little piece was in that first one. And then this was the ones I just showed you, this bottom one. And this butterfly, okay? So I'm gonna stop sharing and then we're gonna cut those pieces out and then set the rest of it aside, okay? And make sure you leave the backing on, because these are very, very sticky. And make sure you save these butterflies. I have this one in an art journal as a 2-page spread, and it's just so pretty. So save them so you can use them in other projects. This is the top of it right here. This is the one we're actually using. So we'll keep this one. And out of that one, I'm going to cut these 2 sides out. And here's this big, huge one, like I said. Make sure you save that because you can use it on something. Put that aside. And then we're going to cut this whole thing out, okay? I didn't use any of these jaggy edges. I cut from here, but you can use those for other stuff too, even this if you want to. But for now, we're just going to cut out this main piece. And out of this one, oops, sorry guys. We're going to cut this whole big arch out, okay? Now, there's little cherubs right here that I cut off of mine. I just didn't want them with this. I don't have anything against cherubs. I just didn't want them on this project. So I'm just going to cut around those. You can keep them if you want to.
Do they need to save the tip of the butterfly too? Oh, I guess.
This piece right here? Yes. Please don't lose that. That's the top of your butterfly. Okay.
Kelly says no fussy cutting for you, Melody.
No, I'm not fussy. I'll just go for it.
Perfect.
Okay, tell me when you guys are ready. Okay, Jamie, could you put my face up, because I'm going to change that one to the picture of the our apron.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So can they see both can you guys see the screen, the apron on the screen, the finished one?
I can, yes. So they should be.
You can. And you can see my overhead. You can see me working.
I personally can, but I'm not sure if they can.
Okay. So what we should see, rather than seeing me, I guess maybe you could see me up in the corner. I'm hoping you can see the finished apron and the apron in progress.
Okay. Kelly said she can see both, so you're good.
Great. Okay. All right. You guys tell me when you're ready. And then get your apron back out. And lay that out. I know there's probably some parts of it that are still a little bit damp, but it'll be okay.
Sabrina's ready.
Okay. As soon as you guys all say you're ready, we'll start.
How about you, Robin? She's ready too, so go ahead.
All right. Okay, so you guys have your apron out flat, and then we're gonna lay this on here, and then you'll just trim it to, just like you can see on the finished picture. We're gonna trim it to go perfectly across. And then once you have that, set these aside. What you'll do, and make sure you're ready before you do this, peel the back off.
Now, is that upside down?
What? Yes, it's upside down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I wanted it. You could do it the other way if you want to. You can see on the finished picture. Okay, so this, you guys, is so sticky, and you will lose pieces of it if it touches anything besides where you want it to go. So make sure you're really careful, and then just lay it down. And then this pretty little piece of wood is what we're going to use to burnish it down. So what I do is I start on one side, or I start at the top or the bottom or wherever. Just start somewhere, and then just start really rubbing it down so hard from one end to the other, from the top to the bottom or whatever. And you can see how it gets, see how it gets kind of milky when it has attached. That's the backing paper, or the paper that's on it, that shows that it's releasing from it. So you want to do it, you want to really burnish it down until it starts to get milky like that. Does that make sense, you guys?
Did you say it gets milky?
Yeah. So look in my overhead. See, do you see how this is milky? When it starts to release, it just looks kind of milky. The paper does. That's how you know it's kind of attaching to the fabric. Okay. It'll even start to lift up.
Can you guys see that well enough?
Maybe I'll move it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Melody, can you turn off your screen sharing just while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Because the apron is really small compared.
Compare, oh, the little one.
Yeah,
What if
so
I
they
went like this?
no, it's
How's
the
it?
problem. The problem is that when you're screen sharing, that screen share gets really big and you can't
Oh,
see the videos.
okay.
There we
So you
go.
want, okay.
Okay, so can you show the milkiness now? I can see it. I know what I'm looking for, but
Yeah, just
how's that, ladies?
yeah. See, mine's all done, so you can't really, I mean, that's a little bit less milky right there, but it still has attached.
Oh, good. I'm glad, Kelly, that you could see it better.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could just, if you guys want to see the finished apron, then I can just go back and forth.
Yeah, that should work.
Okay. All right, so the next thing, are you guys ready? Are you guys done with that part? The next piece we'll do is the big one.
Robin says still burnishing, but go ahead.
If a lot of you guys are, then I'll just wait. Now, this is what's so cool about this is this piece fits exactly the apron. I thought that was so amazing.
Yeah, I know it takes a little while to burnish if you're not used to it. This was my
Yep.
first time ever using transfers. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it's important to do it right so that they don't peel off.
Right. Did you finish reading the cards already? I couldn't remember. I think you did.
Doing what?
Finish reading the cards?
I only read the I only read the first part. Who had evolve? I'll read the evolve one because there's a whole longer. Who was it? Okay, I'm gonna read evolve while we're waiting. So this is your message, Carrie Ann. Let's see, number 28. Says creative ideas evolve out of the invisible and profound nothingness of proverbial consciousness. Pre-verbal. The evolve card is most often a reminder that your creative ideas will be a response to the invisible, profound nothingness of your being. The blank page or the audience waiting for your ideas most clearly exemplifies this. Like you, your work is constantly evolving, and you should not chastise yourself for changing your mind. If you are asking yourself whether or not your process is whether or not your process is finished, picking the evolve card means it is not finished and may be limited in some way. Look inside yourself to check for limiting beliefs, prejudices, and assumptions that can plague us all. If found, they must be dealt with, or they will keep you from fully accessing your creativity and therefore from correctly approaching and solving the challenge in question. Does that resonate for you at all, Carrie Ann?
Wow.
Is she still here?
Yeah, she's still here.
Okay.
She said, yes, it does. And she put a smiley face.
Awesome. You guys still burnishing?
How you doing, Sabrina? I know you have to stop your project and talk. Yes, still burnishing.
Still burnishing? Okay, I'll read.
Nope, she said ready.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so now this is just a bigger version of the same thing we just did. So this is a good way to do this. place it, hold your hand down, and then peel this off. I don't know if that's gonna work actually. So just try not to touch it in places where the transfer is, so that it doesn't, pieces of it don't end up on your finger. Because like I said, it's so sticky. And then get it placed. And then I just kind of do this, go from the center out to make sure there's no bubbles or wrinkles. And then I'm even going to do the transfer that way. I'm gonna go from the middle this way, and then from the middle this way, just to eliminate the possibility of rippling and things like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna start burnishing just like we did the last one. These little sticks are so nice.
Are there any tips or tricks to doing it, I don't know, faster or?
Well, I think like on little teeny parts, I've been using the corner, but I've been trying to use the whole surface area, you know, like as much as you can. I don't know how effective it would be to go this way, but I have been going this way rather than just a tiny corner. But I don't know. I think it's just important to get all of it. And so whatever it takes to do that, you know.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Patience. That's the tip. All the good things in life, they require patience, and
that's very true.
I'm not that awesome at it.
So out of all the places that you visited in the last couple of years, do you have a favorite one that you guys like to go back to often?
It's really interesting because there's a lot of people, because of the pandemic and everything, that took off and started exploring, you know, because of business are closed down and things like that. So it's so funny because we follow a lot of people that are like, there's this hobby called overlanding, and basically what it is you have a vehicle that will go anywhere, and you have it set up so that there's like a bed in it, and you can it's a 4-wheel drive vehicle that's like a house. It's not different than like a camper. So we have a truck like that. And so there's people we follow that do that. And it's so interesting because they have chosen so many of the same places that we have chosen that aren't really very famous. But when you find them, you're just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this exists. So we have found a lot of places like that. I don't know if any of you guys have been in slot canyons. You've probably seen pictures of them. I didn't even know what they were. My husband's an avid. It's called a slot canyon. So basically what it is, like, I live in the Canyonland, so everything's just canyons, but slot canyons are like so skinny and they go so far up, and so you're kind of like hiking through these incredible shapes that the sun is coming down into. Like, there's a lot of them here in Utah that have been washed out even by water, so they're really smooth. I'm sure you've seen them, like orange. They almost look like caves, halls. And anyway, those places are amazing. There was this place we went to that isn't even on any maps. My husband found it just because of some online groups he's part of, and being a scoutmaster for 35 years, he just knows a lot of places. But there's this place called the Citadel, and it has these ancient ruins from the Anasazi Indians from like 1,000 years ago. And it first of all, you have to go on this trail for like 10 miles driving really slow because it's not really a road, and then you have to hike in about 3 miles on this long peninsula canyon. Anyway, but when you get there, it's like this castle that they built. It's so incredible. It's so unreal. Most of it was already made by nature, but then they made it into this house and this kind of village, and it's still there. It's really hard to get to, so nobody has ruined these ruins. But anyway, there's so many cool places to see in the United States of America, especially if you're willing to put on a backpack and walk to places. I mean, that's where you're going to see the coolest places, is places where cars can't get to and people can't get to. But
what state is the Citadel in?
I think it's Utah. It could be. There's a place called Four Corners where there's so much cool stuff, and so that it's right near Four Corners. So it could be in Arizona, Colorado, Utah, or New Mexico. Those are that's the area that I love so much. It's a lot of it's Navajo Nation. Also, oh my gosh, Monument Valley in Navajo Nation. Oh my gosh. Of course, it's been in millions of movies. Probably just about every cowboy movie is made in Monument Valley because it's just so epic. But man, I don't know how in the world this stuff got created millions of years ago, but it is so epic, some of these places. Before I came here, I had never been to southern Utah, even though I'm from Idaho. It's like 9 hours from where we were raised, but Mark's been here a lot. Before that, my favorite place on this planet is Big Sur.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, I love Big Sur. But I haven't been back there in a while. We spent about 4 months in Malibu, and it's so beautiful and everything, but there's just too many people.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of people there.
In LA, yeah.
So Tracy just came on. Hi, Tracy. I know she's going to watch today, and she's catching it, and she says, "Is Melody traveling right now?" So do you want to do a little recap on your lifestyle?
I was traveling yesterday, but I'm not today. I'm settled for a couple of months on our friend's horse ranch. My husband's going to be training wild Mustangs for the summer.
That's amazing.
Into therapy horses. Yeah. And so my friend Cammie, whose ranch this is, her and her husband Wes Taylor. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are into horses, you should follow Wes Taylor Wild West Mustang Ranch. He's the one that does science-based horsemanship. It's the most. They don't believe in breaking horses. They believe in building horses. Mostly they believe in building the owners. The owners are the ones that get trained, not the horses.
Yeah.
But like it's the most beautiful process. It's just so beautiful. But my friend Cammie, who is Wes' wife, she's also an artist, and she makes drums. She does sound healing.
Wow.
For people, and makes Native American hide drums, and has drum circles and things like that. Like this ranch is really cool. It's got teepees for people to sleep in, and just lots of awesome healing, lots of art, lots of beautiful things happen here with as far as healing goes in lots of ways between the horses and the art and the nature. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you need a couple months to just really delve in and see everything and do everything.
Yeah, and like I said, we're right next to dang it, I forgot what it's called. Another national park. Always forget the name of it. I told you earlier, but I already forgot. But and then we're by another national forest where a lot of the Indians, the Anasazi Indians and the Paiutes by Fish Lake. So there's just so many. There's no way we could see everything. We're like an hour, and I don't know if you guys know what Lake Powell is. We're like an hour and a half from Lake Powell, so we'll just get in the car and go spend the day at the beach, and so it's pretty cool. A couple hours from Salt Lake City if we need to go into the city.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. We probably won't though, because we have Amazon and we're fine without the city.
Right.
Yeah. You guys' arm's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Right.
I'm doing all this. Oh, Tracy, I'm so sorry you haven't been feeling good. I'm glad you got a nap though.
That sounds good about now for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dogs woke me about 7
o'clock. How's the weather over there? Are you in San Diego?
I am in San Diego right now. It's about 65 and overcast with a.
Oh yeah, you said that earlier. Yeah, that's like perfect.
Right?
Perfect spring weather, huh?
I know if we go towards the beach, you're gonna go down like 5 or 6 degrees probably, but
I always think the beach should be hotter, but it's funny how it's not. What?
Yeah.
The sea breeze, I guess, right?
Right. Well, I did get to go on Monday, so that was quite nice.
Are all the beaches open?
I'm sorry?
Are all the beaches open?
As far as I know, yes. We went to one called Moonlight Beach, and that was really nice. I think it was in Encinitas. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the area, but it was a very nice beach.
What is Ensenada near?
Encinitas is on the coast. It's south of Oceanside and Carlsbad.
Okay.
It's south off the 5. It's just a city along the coast. It was just a nice drive that day. Windows down, sun out, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Is stuff starting to open back up in California?
Yes, it is now that the COVID tests have rolled out. They're getting everybody as of April 15th. Anybody over the age of 18 is can go and schedule and sign up to get a COVID test. Oh, not
good.
test. I'm sorry.
Vaccination.
Yes.
Good.
Tracy says
Okay.
doesn't feel good. Hope it's not anything serious. Elena's picture comes up when I talk, Tracy, because I'm under her account because it's set to do the classroom. So I just changed my name in Zoom, but it's me. But we have to have a host, so it's just easier. Okay. So how are you guys doing? It looks like Melody's done. Wow.
Well, when I start peeling, if you peel up slowly, you guys, you'll see places that you need to maybe burnish a little more.
Sabrina says she's done. Good.
Okay. Sabrina, is it going on pretty buttery, pretty easily?
She says, yes, it does.
Good. I'm glad we had
to just go over it with your fingers to kind of like
smoothen
it out, or
especially I'm just making sure all the little loose ends are really down, you know, because once we pulled up that piece, it could have pulled up some parts of it.
Okay, perfect.
Not with my burnisher though, because that could scrape it right off, but just with my fingertip that's kind of squishy.
Sabrina says, I mean, elbow power and all, but it's pretty smooth on the fabric. Yes. Yeah. Just take a little pressure to get that off.
Yep, it does.
How you doing, Robin? Oh, Robin's got a little bit left, so go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna read visualize. Okay. Who had visualized? Do you remember?
Was it the next one in the?
I think so, but I got them out of order, I think.
Oh. I think
whoever's visualized. This one's yours. You think maybe it was Kelly?
I think so.
Do you remember Kelly?
Yep,
yeah,
it's
Kelly.
Kelly.
He said it first. Okay. Here's yours, Kelly. The visualize card is an indication that you must improve your visualization technique. It is not enough to clearly see in your mind's eye the end result of what you're trying to produce in your reality. You must see what you want your future reality to be and feel as if you are already living in the future where this has come to pass. Imagine what will change and what will stay the same. This prepares you to experience the actual realization of your goals. Make sure all images of this future you're visualizing include possible annoyances and difficulties that will be the natural product of you attaining your future goal. Your powerful subconscious mind will know you are ready for the new future, thereby freeing it from self-protecting and self-defeating actions and reactions. Very nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Was that a good one, Kelly, for you?
Very good.
Good. awesome.
I think so too, Cal. Tracy says, I remember it helped me when I moved my kitchen countertop. Oh, move location.
Oh,
And Kelly said, you have to speak it into existence.
yes. Speak it, feel it, and see it. They're saying the feeling part is such an important part of manifesting and visualizing, is feeling how the end result will feel. I love how all the scientific discoveries they're making these days with all the woo-woo stuff. So awesome.
So you said speak it, feel it, and then what was the next one?
Speak it, feel it, and visualize it.
Visualize it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to look here. Okay, how are you guys doing?
I think you can go on because Robin only have a little bit
I'm
left.
gonna share. I'm gonna show this apron again. Okay, just really quick. Okay, so next we're gonna do these sides. Okay, so that looks like the little handles are kind of over the top of where this goes, but you'll be able to kind of see how they line up with what's already there. Just wanted to show you that, so I'm gonna stop sharing, and you can see how I have mine. See how it lines up. With this. Okay, so you're just going to take it off again, and any kind of adjustment that you need to do, like mine's a little bit crooked, so I'm just adjusting it, making it not so crooked. My first one is what I meant. Okay, so get that how you want it, and then just burnish. And I overlapped it a tiny bit so that there wouldn't be a gap, so it'll just stick to the top. It's just overlap, just a very, very tiny bit. Okay. Does that make sense, guys?
Does that make sense, you two? Sabrina says, yep.
Okay, awesome.
Tracy says, I think it's easier on fabric than wood too.
Oh, really? I haven't done it on wood. Is it just so slick on wood that it's hard to get it to stick down into the crevices and stuff?
I didn't have a problem. My only problem was that the wood I used was really soft wood, so I couldn't push it very hard.
It would scratch it.
Just dent it, you know?
Yeah.
From like the top, like you wouldn't realize it until you took the transfer off.
Yeah. That makes sense.
What are you thinking, Tracy? She just said she felt like she rubbed a lot longer on the wood. Gotcha.
Oh, really? It was harder to get it to stick.
Interesting.
What was that?
I was just going to ask if anybody had any other questions for you. What were you going to say?
Oh, I just wondered if Elena was going to do something fun today.
Well, she was at the park with Devin earlier, you guys.
Yeah.
I know she monitored Frank's class this morning. I'm not sure.
Is Disneyland open? I know she was buying Disneyland tickets last week.
As far as I know, they were opening, but it was a very long process to try to get tickets, and I'm not sure when she finally got them. I know she said she was on the phone for a couple hours or something, or.
So how come why is it such a long process to get tickets?
Because they're only allowing so many people in the park.
Okay.
So there's so many people that wanted to go. So it's just kind of like, you know, you get in the queue and you have to wait and wait and wait to make sure. At least that's as far as, you know, I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't actually done it myself because.
Are they limiting capacity because of COVID? Or are they doing full capacity there?
They're limited capacity. Oh, and Sabrina said it's also proof of residency. You have to show that
Okay.
you're a resident.
So only California residents can go to Disneyland right now?
And she says 25% capacity. So
Okay, wow, that's a lot.
normal. Yeah, that's a huge difference to what they're normally allowed.
Yeah,
Sabrina lives right near Disneyland
in Orange County, yeah.
Yeah, she's in Orange County. Oh, her daughter works there. I didn't know that. That's very cool, Sabrina.
Yeah, really cool. Is she a princess or something?
Let's see. She said LOL exclamation point. Nope. She busses tables.
Oh, that's good.
Very cool. Hey, it's a job, especially in this area.
Okay, I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna take what's left of this and go the rest of the way up. You guys have you're gonna have so much extra to do this if you want to, you know, like from all different parts of it. Okay, let's see. See, I just stuck that to my fingers. Accident.
Sabrina says she is on the spectrum and it is the perfect job for her. Daily routines and minimal public speaking.
Oh, wow.
And Carrie Ann says, I miss Disneyland so much. In 2019, I got to celebrate my birthday there. This has been a dream since I was a child. That's exciting, Carrie Ann. I'm glad you were able to come out. Was it the one in Disneyland in California or was it Walt Disney World in Florida? She said California. Great. The one and only.
The one and only.
That's very true.
Okay, so when you guys are done with that side, just go do the same thing on the other side with the other piece.
So are all your kids in the same state, Melody, or do you go around and visit
No,
them?
my oldest daughter, she has 2 daughters. They actually live right near Salt Lake. Her husband works for a tech startup in Salt Lake City, and so they live, so we get to see them more often, but we go back to Idaho a lot. But my oldest son and his 2 boys and wife live in Boise, and so does my second daughter and her husband and their baby. And then my 2 boys, my 2 young boys, one of them just finished coding school. He's a software developer. So he was living with my oldest son, who's also a software developer, but now he's living with my daughter. And, they're all just kind of like my youngest daughter, you know, they're newly married, and so him living there and paying rent is helping them out a little bit.
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
my youngest son was living with his grandparents, but they've been coming to visit and things like that, and he's just trying to figure out what he's going to do next.
Oh, it's hard.
So they're all together all the time. They're just they always have been very good friends, and they hang out with Mark's parents a lot. They go there for dinner a couple times a week, and
oh, good.
And then we FaceTime all the time, every day.
So is Idaho where you're originally from?
Yeah, and my husband too. Like I'm 4th generation. He's third generation. So we have really deep roots there. But I never thought I would be out of Idaho, but one of the reasons we chose southern Utah is because it's on the border of Arizona. So it's very, very sunny and warm here. And because of my husband's brain injury, he was having relapses every winter that would last like 3 or 4 months.
Oh
And
no.
we found out it was the lack of sunshine that was really
Mhm.
affecting his brain and stuff. And so we decided last winter, is it only, 2019 is when we the winter of 2019, November of 2019 is when we left. And
Oh.
so almost immediately after being in the sunshine all day, he started to improve. And so that's the reason why we are where we are. It's just because of the sunshine.
Well, it's very sunny
in,
there.
in
Awesome.
Boise, where we grew up, it's in a valley surrounded by two ranges of mountains, kind of in a bowl of two different ranges of mountains. And so because the population has increased so much, and all the emissions and pollution and stuff, you get what's called inversion, where the air gets trapped between the mountains. And so like there would be like 40 days in a row in the winter where you could not see the sun because the air was trapped. It's like really, really bad smog.
Oh goodness.
And it's terrible. It's like so depressing and horrible, and it's dirty and it makes you sick. And as the population grows, the inversions last longer and longer. And so anyway, so he just couldn't, he was getting to where he couldn't even get out of bed because it would affect his brain so much. So anyway, so we're so thankful for where we live now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's great that you figured out what it was, because I know.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, we've done everything we can think of. And that was just like a process of elimination. I was like, okay, this starts happening in October. It goes away in March. And then just doing research with other people that have the same issue, so yeah, there's just, I mean, it's been 16 years of just trying things and trying other things, and all these brain disorders, they're so confusing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Looks so gorgeous already.
Yeah, it's so amazing to me how perfectly these fit.
Sabrina's done.
Awesome. So,
how you doing, Robin?
okay, so next we're going to do the butterfly. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the placement for that.
Oh, Robin's just starting the second edge.
Okay. We can wait then.
There we go.
Then I'll just read these cards.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll do habits next.
I think that was Lisa.
This is for you, Lisa. Habits.
Oh, that's Robin. Okay.
Oh, it's Robin?
Perfect.
Robin is habits?
Yep.
Okay, this is for you, Robin. Habits. Examine habits that may impede the pathways to your goals and encourage beneficial ones. The habits card is an indication that you should look at your habits and or those of any other person involved in your situation to see if you are dealing with habits that heal, or habits that harm your goal. We all evolve habits to help us deal with daily life, especially with its challenges. Thinking of oneself as a creative person or an artist is a good habit to cultivate. Habitually criticizing yourself and your work or others and their work is not and works against your best interests. This card can be a reminder to look at your work habits, what is currently called your workflow, to see if you are using best practices to bring your ideas into reality. It says it twice, to bring your ideas. They have a typo in there, but maybe that's so important that it need to be said twice.
Right.
How did that resonate, Robin?
Sabrina says, wow, that's a great card. It is.
It is.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I think to a lot of people it would.
For sure. Okay, I'll do precision. Who has precision?
That was either Sabrina or me. That was one of the double cards.
Okay, you guys can decide who it's for. Precision.
Robin said spot on.
Oh, good. Excellent. I love that. Okay, precision. The desire to do things precisely is useful as long as it does not devolve into rigidity. Is that one yours?
It sounds like me, but I'm sure it could be Sabrina too.
Are you a perfectionist?
I am definitely.
Okay, maybe this one's yours. The precision card is an indication that problems related to the matter in question are the result of either too much or too little focus on precision. Our desire for precision can help us identify and clarify our intentions, thereby making them simpler to comprehend and easier for us to attain. You cannot make things the way you want them to be without knowing precisely how you want them to be. In the creative process, having that kind of precise vision is a perfect starting point. Care must be taken, however, that the desire for precision does not devolve into a rigid, picky attitude that stifles creativity. Precision can be invaluable in predicting and dealing with course corrections when the inevitable unforeseen circumstances arise in response to your actualizing of your original plan. Precision is the clearest indication of mastery.
Wow.
So it's good up to
that is very good. How about you, Sabrina? Did it resonate with you as well? That is completely me, and I do need to work on that. Yes.
Sabrina said it's her too.
Yep, she said it did. You know this about me. Yes.
Okay, so maybe both of these cards are for both of you.
Right?
That's awesome. Okay, so the next one is introspection.
Yes.
Okay, introspection, 67.
Kelly is telling me to let it go. Let it go, Jamie. Kelly's one of my best friends in San Diego.
Let it go. Let it be what it is, even if it's imperfect. Okay. Introspection is often necessary to deepen our awareness of the unity and divinity of life. The introspection card is an indication that problems associated with the matter in question are the result. This is just so much like the other one. Okay. Mm-hmm. You are associated with the matter in question are the result of either too much or not enough time spent looking within. Introspection is accomplished when we walk in nature or sit in silence and are so focused on the matter at hand that we lose touch with what our senses are telling us. In this way, it is very close to the practice of meditation. The appearance of the introspection card can be a call to isolate yourself more than you have been doing and to seek your answers from within yourself and not from external sources. Introspection can be one of the best things to help you deal with the delay, disappointments, and setbacks of every kind. If too much time is spent on introspection, however, it can indicate that the practice is being used like any other fear-based method to escape and avoid doing the work.
Yeah. Nice.
Get called on it.
Right.
That's a good one. Do we have, because I have one more card. Did someone not get one?
Lisa says, oh, that was a great card. Thank you, Melody. What was the last one?
Insight.
Me. Okay, so either that was Lisa's or that was mine and Sabrina's.
Okay, let's read
one that started with I. So
okay, that's number 70. See beyond appearances, masks, cliches, and cultural stereotypes to gain insight. The insight card is an indication that you should make time to sit quietly and comfortably in a place you will not be disturbed, ideally a place where you have had revelations before, because reality wants to reveal to you one of its secrets. We have to ask the right questions in the right way. We must approach things as a child, as a beginner, as someone who has never seen or even dreamed of what we wish to know about. Awareness, perceptions, and insights arise in us when we drop the rigid mask of the way things have been done, the most recent version of what is considered to be expertise and the attachment to a particular point of view. Insight is not often in sight, but when it finally comes to us, it can be the equivalent of years of study and experience. Very nice.
Yeah. Lisa said, oh, that was a great card. Thank you, Melody. So she must have had introspection. And Sabrina said that insight was us. And she
Okay.
said, this particular one resonates deeply with me. Yes,
Awesome.
I understand, Sabrina.
I love how that works. Okay. How are we doing? Are you guys done with the sides?
How you doing, Robin? She should be okay.
Okay, the next one is the butterfly, okay? And so you got to make sure that you got this little piece right here.
Okay, so you guys, okay, you saw the picture right here. We're gonna have her take her down the screenshot so you can see.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It was a great placement picture.
Okay, so we're gonna use this butterfly and make sure that you get the little piece of the top of the wing that was on a different sheet, okay? So again, you're just gonna place it as best you can. And I'm gonna start in the center again and go outward.
So how did you go about choosing to do an apron, Melody?
I was on the website first, like trying to figure out what to do. And then I got to go, when I was in Malibu, I went with Palm and Sophia to the warehouse and just went and looked through everything. And so I don't know, I just was like, this would be super fun to do for artists, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It was just the thing that popped out at me that I wanted to try the transfers on fabric to see if that would work. Yeah.
Very
So it
cool.
just ended up working out really well. Originally, I was just going to do a canvas, but it's like, I want to do something a little bit different this time, you know?
So then you can use the transfers on canvas too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would only be able to do that on raw canvas or on canvas board, because if you did it on a canvas, I guess you could stick a board or something under it, but because it's, you know, stretched, you wouldn't be able to get enough pressure for the transfers. But if you put something under it, you could for sure. Man, Prima has so much awesome stuff too. I couldn't believe all the products that were there.
Right? How do you choose?
Yeah, that was the thing.
I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, there's a million options. And everything's just such good quality. I have really enjoyed using the paints, and I just did a big art class on Jean Oliver's network, and I used all Prima products, and it was just such a pleasure to work with them. They're just such good products.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I know I personally love them.
Yeah, they're good quality.
Yep. Do you have a favorite Prima product if you had to choose one?
Well, I'm very impressed. You know, I've used so many different kinds of paint, and the impasto paints, the heavy body tube paints. I've been using those a ton, and I love the mediums. You know, the 3D gloss gel in the tub as well as in here, because I do a lot of collage.
Okay.
It holds thick pieces. You know, it's just really nice adhesive.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And then I don't know, I've been using like they have the micro beads, you know, I use those a lot in collage. I don't know, everything's just so nice.
Right. And they have so much, you forget that they have some products. It's hard to choose.
I know, it's like its own Michael's store in that warehouse. But something in every hobby, I swear they have stuff for everything.
Yeah. Sabrina says, I feel like a snob sometimes because I am almost exclusively a Prima product user with my mixed media. Nothing really compares in quality.
Seriously, it spoils you. After you use it, you're like, I don't really want to use anything else.
Right?
You know, because there's some garbage out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating when you're trying to make something beautiful and meaningful and the stuff you're working with is garbage.
Right. Completely understand. Yeah, when I started doing Art Venture years ago, volunteering for it, I had never heard of Prima. I didn't do a lot of mixed media. You know, I was just beginning and it just completely blew my mind. I didn't know things such as all of this funness existed.
I know. It's almost like after you find out it exists, you're like, oh, this is going to be bad. You have to have so much discipline to not spend all your money on everything.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I think my butterfly is done. Yay, now I can do my little.
Sabrina said that's when she got hooked too, was during Art Venture when she volunteered. Yes.
Yeah, when you start seeing how to use stuff, that's the ticket. You know, you think it's so much harder than it is, and the only thing that makes it hard is when you overthink it. You know,
Right.
Anybody can do it if you just behave like a child and play.
I do like that saying. I did like that child saying. That was perfect.
Yeah, it's important when you're being creative. How's everybody doing? Oh, you do kids mixed media classes. That is awesome. I love working with kids. You're done with your butterfly? Okay. So what we have Robin and Kelly, or is Kelly doing it?
Kelly wasn't doing him. Everybody,
Okay.
it was mostly just Robin and Sabrina were actually doing it. A lot of people watch it the first time.
That's good.
Robin says she's all caught up.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is put this aside and we're gonna start just going through all of our words and pulling out the words that resonate with us. Okay, so the next thing we need is our sentiment stickers. Oops. So I pulled all mine out. So what I want you guys to do is just start pulling out the ones that speak to you. Last time I used these, some of them didn't come off very easy. So if you guys have that problem, it's totally okay to just cut them with scissors because we're not really using the adhesive anyway. We're going to use the gel medium. So just start laying them out. In fact, if you guys have something like a book or a cookie sheet or something like that, it might be good to put them on that so that you can set them aside. And when you put your apron down, you won't have to move. You can move them all at one time. So I'm going to grab something like that. Guess I can I'll just put them on this little box.
Good night, Carrie Ann. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. So glad you were here. Have a good sleep.
So how you guys doing? Do you want to take a little potty break for a second while you're doing your words and stuff? We can take a little 10-minute
That'd
break.
probably be a good idea. We're about halfway.
Yeah.
Halfway in.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the recording and we'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody. Okay.
Okay.
There we
See
go.
that you don't have enough.
Okay.
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 So, awesome. Okay, obviously you're gonna have a lot of words left. And so if you don't feel like you have enough, or if you find that you don't have enough, you just come back and get some more. But we'll get started on it. So we're gonna start with the pocket, and I'm just gonna fold this down like this because my glue's all dry. And this is where I do use my hands a little bit, but I'm gonna try to use a scraper. So what you're gonna do now, let me show this again really quick so you guys can hold on just a second. Okay, so we're gonna set our words down and put these little hearts in between places. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time just arranging this, and then we'll go back and glue it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so just, it's gonna be kind of like a puzzle. You're gonna probably move some stuff around. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my hearts here so that I can start arranging them with the words, just so they're right here close. So 3 of the hearts, pick 3 of the medium-sized hearts right now to pull out, because those go on the body of the caterpillar. I mean, the caterpillar. It used to be a caterpillar. the reformed caterpillar. Let me look again. I'm going to share my screen again so we can see which ones I used. Okay. Oops. Okay, so you can see here, do you guys see that? The 3 hearts there. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so pick out 3 hearts that you're gonna put on your caterpillar, and then you can use the rest on your butterfly, and then you can use the rest down here. Okay, that's what we'll do. So I'm gonna choose. Which are my body ones.
So all you're doing is laying them out first, right?
Yep, yep. And then as soon as it's all arranged with the hearts here and there, then we'll start gluing it. It's hard to glue it, you know, and then because you know you have to arrange it so that it actually fits. It's hard to glue it as you go because you don't know if it's gonna fit.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Kelly says self-care is so important. You can't take care of others if you're a mess yourself. Fill your bank account, i.e. soul, up, and then you have something to give out. That is so true.
It is. Yeah, and we think we're so invincible, and then we just have a burnout or like that's what happens to me. I just go and go and go and go and go, and then I like burn myself out. I'm done doing that.
You aren't the only one.
Yeah, it's not it, you know, even our culture sort of romanticizes that, and it's so wrong, you know.
Yes, very, very true.
I hope that this pandemic has taught us that we got to stop just making it heroic to be busy 24/7.
Right, that's very true.
I'm ready to drop that anyway.
Right.
Out of my life.
Well, and so many people have been able to work from home too, which is a good thing and a bad thing depending on who you are. But
yeah,
this goes to show you that you don't have to go into an office every day if that was your job.
Yeah, my son just basically said he'll never go back to the office again. I mean, you just realize like I get more work done, I get to see my family more,
Right.
So they're giving them the option at his company to work from home forever now, if you want to. So
That is very cool.
yeah, I think there are several companies doing that, and I think it's great. It's not for everybody, like you said, but some
Right.
people it works a lot better for.
Definitely. I know some people need that time away from the house to actually be able to get work done.
Yeah. And then some people get so overstimulated and distracted by all the people that they work better from home,
Yes, I understand that one. And Tracy says, I agree. If you don't have to commute anymore, it saves a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it's better for the earth too, really. I mean,
very true.
there's just so many good things about it.
It's just interesting, like you said, to see how it's going to work out when things start going back to the way that they were, if they go
Yeah.
back completely.
However they end up. Yeah.
Right. Tracy says, I work in a lab, so I have to go to work, but I live close to my job.
Good.
That makes the commute easier.
Yeah, no kidding. What kind of lab? Are you allowed to say, or is it super top secret?
Pharmaceutical.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, I know she's a scientist. She told us in another
That's awesome.
thing. So yeah, definitely.
Thank goodness for scientists.
Right?
I love that you are a scientist and an artist. That is so cool.
Very, very true.
That's a cool combination. I come from a family of scientists and engineers.
Yes, totally different lifestyle than them, right?
Oh, I love, you said I was an artist first. Yep.
Oh, that's very cool. Have you always known that you were an artist, Melody? Like,
oh
when you
yeah.
were younger?
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. My family, like I said, they're so much all the same, and I was really different. They were all engineer types, very introverted. Most of them were like valedictorian and all that kind of stuff. And musicians, they're those two things. And then I got named Melody, which was really strange because I was the one that wasn't so musical like them. But I remember going to kindergarten, and that was my first exposure to art supplies. And I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. I just found like what I am, who I am, everything. I still remember it from all the way back from kindergarten. I was like, it's okay that I'm not a musician. It's okay that I'm not, engineer brain, it was like the most wonderful thing. And so ever since then, I just was like, when I grow up, I'm going to be an artist.
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
Good story. I love hearing stories like that.
Yeah, I'm grateful because it has saved my life so many times. And it's interesting because like my husband has no interest in any of it. It's just so interesting how we are really born with desires,
Right.
He's creative in his own way, but he's more like the engineer brain. And I'm like, he likes to follow the instructions, and I'm like, well, what other ways could we do it,
Right. And Tracy says that she didn't get her biotechnology degree until she was 40.
That is awesome.
Wow, that's
So
great.
what made you pursue a biotechnology degree?
Let's see. I started getting interested in science and what was going on in the world in DNA testing. That's very cool.
That is so awesome. That DNA is so fascinating to me, because I was studying epigenetics, and
Which
just
is
epigenetics is just, she could tell better than I could, but basically, like in layman's terms, which is, I'm a layman, obviously, it's the science of what fascinates me about epigenetics, there's way more to it than this, is it's basically the things that travel from our ancestors into us, including things like biases and trauma, and like sometimes the things that we have to heal from don't even come from us, they're from cloning people. Yeah, there's some crazy crap going on. I don't know, I just think DNA is so understudied, and I think there's so much magic in it that we're going to find. I'm sure that you're finding, how to turn it on and off, and they say there's junk DNA, but I don't think it's junk. I think there's stuff in there that we just don't know what it is yet, and when we find out, it's going to be so amazing.
That's the way the scientific world works, is you don't know
Yeah.
what it is until you finally figure it out.
Yeah.
I would want to stop crazy people from cloning themselves too, Tracy.
Yeah. No kidding, dude. There's some scary stuff. People don't think about the ramifications of it. Like on Jurassic Park,
Oh, yes.
somebody cloned their bull. Did you guys ever hear that story?
They're
They
bold.
wanted, yeah, they had this pet bull that they loved so much, and it died, and so they cloned it through science.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't end up like, it looked exactly like it, but it wasn't the same kind of personality and stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I think people get so desperate for things they've lost that they do stuff that's, sometimes you just got to let stuff go and be happy with the memories and not try to get it back,
That definitely makes a lot of sense. And that, I know that is what they're learning, that just because you can clone the DNA doesn't mean you're cloning the person itself. All the experiences that make up their
the soul. I mean,
personality.
you can't clone a soul.
Mm-hmm. How are you guys doing, Sabrina and Robin? Robin says good. That's good to know.
It takes a little while, and that's okay.
But you want it to be you, so it needs to take a little while, right? Not as many words as Melody, Robin says.
Well, first of all, I do this all the time because really all my therapeutic type work is cut and paste, and so I'm always working with this kind of stuff. So I'm glad you're taking your time. There's even one on here that says take your time. How cool is that?
Very cool. Kelly is saying, so the sentiments have stickers on the back, but the gel helps to stick them. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll put really thick gel under and over, because this adhesive definitely won't help stick it to the fabric. Yeah, so we're just laying them down, and then we're gonna start just putting a bunch of adhesive under it, and then we'll swipe it over the top of it too. Okay, I'm gonna start gluing these down just so I can show you guys. I'm just gonna start in this bottom corner and just kind of go up. So I'm gonna do this whole thing with my fingers. It might not be your thing. You might want to use a paintbrush or something like that, but it just makes it easier for me to spread this in a small area. So I put it on pretty thick, and then I'm gonna rub it over the top of it, and that kind of seals the edges so that they stay down. And just make sure it really binds to this fabric and won't peel off. And also that'll make it kind of moisture resistant. It's not moisture proof, like I said, because this is a water-based product. So if you got this totally saturated, it would saturate the adhesive too. But this will be water resistant, like I said, so you can wipe stuff off of it. And if water got like dropped on it or whatever, you could wipe it off and it would be fine. And then I'm just going to keep going little by little.
Now, would you suggest spraying something like Scotch Guard on it afterwards if you want a little extra protection?
Sure. Yeah. Or some kind of fixative. Yeah. I think you could do like a polyurethane spray. Yeah. Or Scotch Guard. There's lots and lots of things. Just remember, if you're putting something on it that leaves a coating like polyurethane or whatever, just do light coats at first, and it's going to end up making the fabric more rigid and plasticky, but it's already a little bit like that. But there are a lot of really cool utility aprons that have coatings on them, and it just makes them just even more utility. I mean, if you're going to use it,
right,
go for it, do that. Okay, so the hearts are, as you can see, they're kind of concave. We're gonna glue them on with this adhesive. Now this one's not. These bigger ones that are kind of rounded, they're hollow inside. But these ones that are flat, just put a nice glob of the glue on. And both of the aprons that I've already made, it totally stays on. So this adhesive is pretty awesome. If you don't feel safe and you have like E6000, you can use that too. E6000 will definitely stick forever.
Hi, baby. I know. Go outside. Okay.
Oh, I just love how thick this gloss gel is. This gel is, because it just makes, the stuff just goes right down into it and stays.
Yeah, this 3D gloss gel is definitely one of my favorite products to use.
Yeah, I bet you use it a lot. I mean, I use it for so many things. So Jamie, do you work at Prima?
No, I actually work for Elena
Okay.
part-time. Because of my illnesses and stuff, it makes it really hard for me to actually work a regular job. So luckily I only work a couple hours a day, a few days a week. So it works out really well.
Yeah, and she's so great.
Yes, definitely.
Can you talk about your illnesses?
Sure. I don't usually talk about all my stuff online. I figure people want to hear about you. Yes, Kelly, that was Ginger barking in the background, and oh, it's causing your Ginger to bark. Sorry. There's 2 dogs where I'm at. I have CRPS and fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a couple
That's a
little
lot.
small ones, but those are the big ones.
I don't know what the first one is. CRPS.
Oh, it's called chronic regional pain syndrome. It used to be called
Oh,
RSD. I was injured at work years ago with my left ankle, and so it's developed a type of neuropathy that's worse than diabetic neuropathy. So
it's just constant nerve pain.
yeah, but
Oh,
I get
terrible.
ketamine infusions every 6 weeks. So
I didn't know ketamine was was for pain relief. I thought it was just for depression and stuff. That's awesome.
oh, yeah, it's an infusion, so you get a really high dose over a 4-hour period, but you're there for about 6 hours.
Wow.
They have to monitor you and everything. So, but no, it works really well for this nerve issues and stuff like that. So
I'm so glad, because I know nerve pain is so hard to treat.
yes,
And it can make you feel crazy.
yes,
A
yes.
few times it's just so distracting, isn't it, in your life?
Yeah. The pain meds don't work on it, which is the horrible part, and you do what you can. But I'm very lucky that I found something that works for me. So
Yeah, kidding. So you get it when I'm talking about how you got to change your lifestyle when there's
yes.
Lots of people don't get it.
No, I completely understand. Like I said, it was great that you discovered what the issue was.
Yes. Yeah. And then sometimes you just have to do stuff that people don't understand sometimes, and unless they were in the position, they can't understand.
So to do that one, you're just getting the edges.
Yes. Oh, I want to show you guys this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is concave. Whoops, where's my camera? There it is. This one's it's hollow, it's concave. And so only the edges would even have the glue. So I'm putting big daubs of glue right on the edges. Thank you. I was talking and I didn't. So then I'm just going to put it down. and kind of clean up what's left. And then it actually sticks really good, believe it or not. For something so heavy, this adhesive is really awesome.
Good. I think I ended up using E6000 because I didn't want to wait for it to dry.
Yeah, I'm trying to use everything that's in the supply kit. But if you have the E6000, go for it.
Yeah, I use that for the rest of them, just not the big. There's 2 big ones that I.
Yeah, the ones that we're gonna put on the butterfly, and then the ones but even this big medallion, like I put that on with the gloss gel, and it's had stayed on, so it's pretty amazing.
Okay, well that's how I'll put mine on then.
Yeah, or use E6000, either way.
Well,
E6000 is always gonna work.
I'm gonna sew it on. I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah, I do tell people to sew on this part after you glue it, but I have it glued and sewed. Yeah, just sew this part on. Yeah, and then it doesn't flip around and stuff, you know.
That's smart. I missed that. I was too busy figuring out my sentiments to listen at the time.
I know, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to absorb.
So do any of your kids take after you as far as the artistic side goes?
Well, it's interesting because my boys are super intelligent, and so they're, like I said, they're all 3 of them are going to end up being software developers. And they're also musicians. All my boys are. My oldest daughter is extremely creative and artistic, but she is a hardcore perfectionist. She's more like my husband, but she's creative too, which is really interesting. And then my second daughter is creative too, but she is like a wild child. Like she's just like super free spirit, not an ounce of perfectionism in her. And she would not have the attention span to sit down and do something like this. She wants to do stuff, just like get on with it. She's all about having a good time, you know. So maybe when she gets older, she'll sit down and do this kind of stuff. But like when I used to have retreats and stuff, she'd sit with us for maybe an hour, and then she'd be like, I gotta go. Too much sitting. Yeah, so my kids they're kind of a combination of my husband and I.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And Tracy said that she used the soft gel and then she sewed it. So perfect.
Yeah.
Good job, Tracy.
That's awesome.
What you want? What you want?
What kind of doggy do you have?
Well, these aren't mine. I'm staying at my friend's house. She's got a terrier mix and a Sheltie.
And your babysitting?
They are so cute, but I have a boxer and then an Australian Shepherd mix, and my youngest is a Cocker Collie Aussie mix. So I got 3 back home.
I love Australian dogs.
Oh, they are so smart. Let me tell you. And the coloring is just absolutely amazing. On one of mine is a brindle color, but the other one is the typical Australian Shepherd color with the spots and the different colors. And
yeah, they're the sweetest dogs.
Yes, very loving. Did you guys ever have any animals growing up? Well, you lived on a ranch, but I mean.
Well, we have horses, and we have we've had working dogs, you know, that's a little bit different. But my kids had a beagle, and we had a my phone's ringing. Let me just hang up real quick. It's my daughter that I was just talking about.
There we go.
We had a golden retriever. I love golden retrievers.
Yes.
And we had gerbils and guinea pigs and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Chickens
that's
are
cool
raised.
animal.
But my
Wow.
kids all have pets now. They love animals.
I would hope
It's hard.
so.
We don't have any domestic pets because it's just too hard with our lifestyle. But we have horses.
Oh, yeah. So you still have horses?
Yeah, it's a complicated issue. Like when we're on the move, because like we have our RV trailer and we have horse trailer, and so we have 2 trucks. And anyway, but like Wes Taylor, who I was telling you about, the ranch that we're at, he's got a ranch down in St. George and then here up in the mountains, and so we just always have our horse wherever he is for the last 2 years because my husband's been training horses with him. So
Oh, that's awesome.
So right now, yeah, our horses are just here with all the rest of the horses.
So now is there somewhere local that these therapy horses then go to, or do they go all over the US?
They go all over. He does a lot of stuff for Heroes and Horses. That's a veteran organization. And then different, like out here in the Canyonlands, there's a lot of, and I don't know if it's like this everywhere. I just can't believe how many there are around here. There's like these I don't know what you call them, disciplinary schools, like where you send kids who need to whatever. Like
Right.
I don't know why parents send them, but those places all have therapy horses too. And then there's a couple of foster care places, and then there's just random people who do horse therapy for, like, autism and things like that too.
Yeah.
But
That's amazing.
And how we met was trying to help Mark through his brain injury stuff. Help him learn how to down regulate. Right. And that's been the best therapy ever, because horses they'll mirror however you're being back to you. So if you're all amped up with anxiety and anger even, or anything like that, you have to completely calm yourself down. Well, at least the way that Wes does it, science-based horsemanship, where you're building the horse instead of breaking it. The old way was breaking horses, and they would just submit to whatever, just like a traumatized person. They're just kind of like, whatever, they have no will left. And so, but these horses, they have been trained to do things that create dopamine in their body. So they get addicted to their own chemicals, which is the same thing we do. You want to use addiction in good ways, so that you're seeking out experiences and behaviors that make your body create good chemicals, rather than creating adrenaline and cortisol and stress chemicals, which is what happens when you break a horse. It's just so filled with fear and cortisol and adrenaline that it's really sad. But anyway, so when my husband started learning this way, he learned how to get himself really calm and down regulate himself. That was one of the things he lost with his frontal lobe brain injury, is just the ability to manage his emotions. And because the horses won't work with you unless you are calm and everything, he had to learn how to do that. And so it's just been this beautiful dance. And now he's so proficient at it that he's able to teach a horse that got rescued from the wild how to down regulate. And it's just so cool, because the horses learn to not be afraid, and they learn what they're capable of, and that they're okay in any situation. Like, they're okay if there's a motorcycle, they're okay if that tall guy over there jumps up and down, because wild horses, they think everything's going to kill them, because everything is going to when you're out in the wilds, you're super vulnerable. It's the same thing with traumatized humans. They think everything's going to kill them. Everything is a threat. And so your system is so filled, and that's really where our whole society is right now. Everybody's filled with so much cortisol and adrenaline because of all the threats that we've had in the last year. And that's the stuff we're going to have to learn how to deal with, is all of this overload of fear and all the chemicals that creates in your body. It burns you out so fast, because you're really only supposed to use those chemicals when, like, a tiger's chasing you or something. I mean, that's why that's what we were designed for, not to live in that state 24/7. So there's going to be so much adrenal exhaustion and just PTSD, all that stuff comes from that. So
Kelly is saying that that is so interesting about the horses. I knew that they were so good for healing, but not to this extent. So thanks for sharing.
I think after watching, oh my gosh, because I have a course that I teach called Soul Restoration, and it really helps you work through trauma. And the way that they train these horses is so much like working with people who are in deep trauma. It's so incredible. Like, it makes me cry every time I watch them with these horses, because I've seen West out there in the round pen stand next to a horse for 2 or 3 hours straight, just telling the horse, you're safe. And then he'll move like 1 inch and the horse will jump, and then he'll stay in that place for another hour and just be like, I'm going to stay here, right here, and just show you that you're safe if I'm standing here, and you're okay if I'm standing here. And just so much patience and love, and it's really so beautiful to witness.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's all about safety. I think it's that way for humans too. I don't think we realize how much our nervous system is amped up when we don't feel safe.
Well, Kelly has a hot date with her hubby, so she's saying goodbye. She says,
have fun, Kelly.
Thank you so much, Melody and Jamie.
Loved having you with us.
Sorry about the dog in the background.
I don't mind. I don't think anybody does.
Okay.
we got to the ranch last night, and West and Sammy weren't here yet. And there's this little baby kitty that was meowing so loud and ran right over to us, and then would not let us out of its sight. I've never had a cat chase me before. This cat,
oh my
it's
goodness.
Probably, I don't know. It's like, it doesn't look newborn. It's old enough to be not by its mommy, but it seems like it just left its mommy. But somebody must have dumped it off or something.
Oh.
Yeah, so sad. But anyway, I've been loving on that little baby kitty, and I just haven't ever seen a cat just like, it just follows you everywhere, just meowing and crying. And I don't know if somebody left him or what. It's so sad. But we're adopting it for the ranch anyway. I can't have it in my RV, but we'll have it here at the ranch. We need a little bed for him and put him in the barn.
Perfect. A nice mouser, right?
Yes, exactly. How's your gluing going, guys? I'm almost to the top. Okay, this is another one of the edge ones.
Robin says she's done.
You're done?
She said, on, girl. She didn't have as many words as you.
Okay.
I remember that. And Sabrina just finished too, so.
Sweet. Okay, I'm done too. Okay, so let's grab this, and I want you guys to pick a phrase to go inside of this.
Robin says, not as many words and no sentences. That's okay.
Oh, just words only? Of course. However you want it is perfect. This is your masterpiece. Okay.
I see you. Okay, no more. Thank you.
Okay, so when you're ready to do it, just spread some gel inside there. I do it over the whole thing so it doesn't have a weird sheen in some places and not others. And I just put creating magic. Now let that dry. And then we're gonna go to the top because we gotta glue those hearts on. And I want to show you guys again the screenshot because I want you to see something. Oops.
Perfect.
Okay, so see how, okay, first of all, there's the hearts glued on. But see how I have the words up the sides? You can do that if you want to also. And then just glue that thing on. And then after it dries, I would suggest going to this part right here and stitching it. That's what I'm gonna do. If you want to, you don't have to. It's still on there, so. It's just, this one's kind of heavy, you know. So I'm gonna put a lot of glue on there, like that much, a bunch of it, and just stick it right on. Same with the hearts. So I want to invite you guys again to join my Creative Soul Searching Facebook group if you haven't already. It's just really fun in there.
What is that again?
It's called Creative Soul Searching. It's just a group in Facebook, and then I do some free projects, and there's a lot of awesome discussion and really cool ladies. There's about 1,000 people in there, pretty actively doing awesome projects that are all centered around soul searching. So I'm just putting a little bit of gel over the transfer just because I want it to be a little bit shiny. And also it'll help protect it a little bit. You can do that or not do that. And then I'm just going to start gluing the words up the side. And again, you guys can do that or not do that.
So I posted the link, you guys, to the group in Facebook for that if you want to join her group. Of course.
So as the glue is drying on everything that we're doing, you guys just go and make sure like all the corners are staying down, and you know the glue is getting really tacky. Just make sure you keep pushing stuff down if it's trying to lift. If any of your transfers are trying to lift, just put a little bit of gel over them and rub it in.
Now, would you suggest to put gel over all of the transfer stuff or just the one that you wanted?
I think if you're going to do a lot of it, you need to do all of it because it adds like a sheen to it, and it will just look messy if, you know, if some of it's done and some of it isn't. I'm going to put a little bit over the top of all of mine.
Perfect. How you guys doing, Sabrina and Robin? It's so quiet. I know the creative juices are flowing.
Yeah. They're faster than my last group. Maybe it's just because the group's small. I don't know.
Yeah, there's less questions being asked, I think. And there's not, you know, not so many fast or slow people. We just got, oh, Robin says sticky finger. Yes.
Yeah, me too. My hands are getting so dirty that now that I'm going to get up and wash them. I'll be right back.
Okay. What I like about this stuff, Robin, and you guys, is because it washes off really easily. And if it doesn't wash off, you just move your fingers around and it just peels right off. But it washes off super easy on your fingers and your hands.
No, not right now. Go lay down. Go lay down.
Have you guys been enjoying your Art Venture Encore classes? I'm so glad you were able to do all of them, Sabrina. That's absolutely amazing. Oh, good, Robin. And yeah, Tracy, of course, right? I'm so glad you guys were able to play back. Let me see. Yes, the playback option is definitely the best. And I am working on getting the Encore videos up, but I am not a webmaster. So just give me a little
You guys,
more.
didn't
I'm
you guys
working on it.
lose your web person too, huh?
Yeah, we did, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
What happens when your volunteers get full-time jobs, you know, and
Yeah,
go get to make real money. That's good. Okay.
yeah, that's the hard part. Hard part of having a charitable organization is that
Right,
sometimes the volunteers can't do it anymore.
right. It happens.
Yep. I am going to put gel over all of this since I did it over the rest.
Yeah, there's only 2 left, Tracy. Tomorrow we have Jaya in the morning and we have Cece in the afternoon. So now when you're putting the gel over the transfer like this, it's better to use your finger than the credit card method?
I think you could use the credit card. I'm just trying to make sure it only goes kind of on the transfer and maybe a little bit on the outside of it.
Okay.
You could do that with a paintbrush too, easily. The credit card would be a little bit harder just because you can't really see what's happening underneath.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Plus, I like using my fingers. Makes
I
it fun.
don't blame you. Yes, my hands look like they've done battle with paint and gloss and gesso and everything.
I know. I could never have get my nails done all the time. I've tried that before and I just ruin them like the next day with all the stuff I do, you know?
Well, I've learned to use gloves.
Oh, wow. I've never tried that ever.
Yeah, well, because I do Color Street, so I sell Color Street, which is a nail polish.
Oh,
And so I do my nails often to make them look nice and cute, but I love to craft. So I started using gloves and it works great. I still need that textile feeling though every once in a while. So
yeah, that's what I would be missing is just
yeah.
that, just feeling things, you know?
Well, the soft gloss gel doesn't mess with them. It's the gesso and stuff. If you let it dry without catching it, then
Yeah.
it's stuck on there. But even then, I think that just makes them more beautiful.
More artsy, yeah.
Right. And Tracy says fingers are good tools. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Mine are definitely tools. And then, you know, in the summer when I'm gardening and stuff, and it's just like,
Yep.
but I love that they have those new nails that you just glue on. Because when I have like an event or something and I want my hands to look nice, I'll just glue on some and take them off when I get home.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that out before.
Yeah. They have like really beautiful, like just manicures that you can just buy.
Actually, maybe when I was in high school years and years ago, I won't want to say how many.
Will you press on nails?
Yeah, the press-ons. I remember those.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, mine's all done.
Let's see, how are you guys doing? Are you ready to share?
I didn't even finish last time, so that we all got done a lot more than I did last time.
Yes, I see you. Let's put some spotlights on here. Stop. No. Sabrina says I'm getting high off the E6000. Yes, I understand that, Sabrina. Okay, so we are going to, I'm going to take a screenshot for the, so is it possible for you to hold up your apron, Melody?
Yeah.
Here. I'll hold up mine too.
Yeah.
Okay, where's that button? There it is. Let's see if it works. Function. I could do this. There we go. Okay.
I think just
sure that worked. I'm new to this whole screenshot business here.
Okay. Do you want to try it again?
No, it worked. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you guys, are you ready to come on? Oh, she had to crack the window. I will have to take a photo and post it. Okay, that's totally fine. And Robin, are you ready to, do you want to come on and show yours? Did you get a chance to show yours last time, Tracy? Let's see. Okay, not that. Oh, you posted a video. Great. Or photo, I'm sorry. Perfect.
Tracy, are you feeling any better at all as time goes on? Or are you still feeling crummy?
Right? Let's go to Prima. You don't want to see my sick face. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's pretty sucky.
Oh, ears and throat. That's probably not COVID then, which is good.
Oh, right. I didn't even think of that, and that is, first thing you should think of these days, unfortunately. But
yeah, my little 7-year-old grandson got it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he was coughing all day and all night for like 3 days. And then on the 4th day, he got a fever, and that's when they took him in and to get tested, and he had it. But by the time he got his test results back, his cough was gone and his fever was almost gone. And so he got through it, and no one else got it, which is awesome. No one else in the family got it.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. My daughter-in-law had 1 round of vaccine, but not 2.
Okay. Good.
Nobody else had the vaccine yet, and they didn't get it. So that's really good. It's just such a tricky virus. It affects everyone differently,
Exactly. That's the unfortunate part about it.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. How are we? Okay. Do you want to, depends on, yeah, Tracy says it depends on each person's immune system. That's right.
Yeah, I wonder if it depends on the strain of it too, because it seems like there are several different strains of the virus, like the severity of it and I don't know. Because my sister got it, and she got it last May, and it was so sick for 50 days, had a fever for 40 days, and she's still having issues from it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have another friend too that's got like brain cloud and just difficulty breathing still. So I don't know, it's just really different with everybody.
Right, everybody,
Oh, good, Robin. Robin's fully immunized.
Perfect. Are you ready to come on camera, Robin? Just let me know. I'm just putting the post up in Prima here. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Let me just add you so we can put you on video, Robin. Sorry, there's so many clicks here. Okay, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and put your camera on, Robin, when you're ready.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, let's see if I can maybe what I'll do is take my iPad over here. Hold on.
Oh, it looks so good.
Wow.
Awesome. Perfect.
Great.
Trying to see what I'm showing you. Oops. Hold on.
She's had spotty
Internet.
reception. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
No, I pressed my close window button.
Oh, of course.
I'm trying to, turn it around and see what I have here. So there's the bottom part. I wasn't gonna do the little things up the side, but I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I see them.
Not as many words, but I decided to do up the side. I don't know if you can kind of.
What does your medallion say?
It says, "Never give up."
I love that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, this time, never give up.
That's right.
So this was really enjoyable. Thank you so much, Melody.
I enjoyed it too. I loved being with you guys.
I haven't really done much stuff other than crocheting over the last 2 years. So it's been fun to get back into the stuff.
Yeah. Do you feel inspired to keep going with doing stuff?
Yeah.
Good. I've never learned how to crochet. That's something I got to learn how to do.
I guess we're showing you. You want to talk about crocheting?
Yeah, show us.
Robin is so good at it. I've seen so many of her projects. Let's see.
Here. I can.
What you made? Oh my gosh, that is hardcore.
And
Holy
see here.
oh my
Okay, you
gosh.
have to slow down a little bit, Robin. There
Well, I
we
want
go.
to get over to where I had some.
Oh my goodness.
Do you sell those?
I haven't really.
You just make them for fun?
I make them. Well, I test for designers.
Okay.
I make them for fun. I make them for my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Your nephew.
That's amazing.
Here's the crowd that I have.
Oh, you're never alone.
That's amazing, Robin.
These lovely people here.
Oh my gosh.
So
how long does it take to make just like one of those people?
Well, the boy and girl that I showed you last, they are more detailed and they take longer to work on. So, and I'm working on another one for the designer that she gave me a month to do it in.
Oh,
So
wow.
it doesn't take me a full month, but you do a couple hours a day and that, and eventually you use up your time. Now, come on.
Yeah. Good thing you have
So do you work on like fixing the pattern that they have or what?
Yeah, she sends me the pattern, the written pattern, and I go through it and check it for spelling errors, grammar errors, stitch count, all that stuff. And then I work it up to see that it makes sense working it and that they didn't miss something. And do that. So
That is amazing.
I just got my two nieces, well, my niece-in-law and niece both called me this last week and sent me an email and said, you have some time? I'm wondering if you could do this for me. And one, she's a horse person, her and her daughter, my niece and her mom are horse people and goat people. They love goats. And my the daughter, so it'd be my grandniece, just lost her goat. He passed away about a month ago now. And she says, could you make a goat that looks like Ava's goat? So that's, I'm using a horse pattern and kind of changing it a bit to make it a goat, but she sent me pictures and it would be very easy to do. I'm sorry.
That's so sweet.
And then my other niece is moving her niece's daughter, grandniece, is moving, and she says, Aunt Robin, could you make me some crocheted dishcloths? So we went Thursday, we went out and she bought all the yarn that she wanted. And we picked out, we went through my patterns and she found several of them she liked. So I said, okay, I'll do those up for you.
That's so nice. My mother-in-law does those. She also crochets around like flannel baby blankets, like a lace around it.
Yeah,
So
do
pretty.
the edging.
And burp cloths, yeah.
Well, it's really interesting. For the last 4 years, I had a mission that I started at my church, crocheting and weaving sleeping mats for the homeless out of paper or recycled plastic
bag. Yeah, I saw that project. I want to. Do you have some that are done? I haven't seen them. Oh, neat.
This is just a sample that I had up on the board at church to kind of show people.
Yeah.
It could be a table.
How big do they do it?
About 2.5 to 3 feet wide to 6 feet long.
That's amazing.
It takes about 60 hours to make one.
Wow.
Look at all those
cutting up the bags and tying them up and then
yeah,
crocheting them. So
that's so great. What a beautiful service.
Well, we haven't been able to do much the last 2 years really because of the pandemic. That shortly after that came in, the groups that we give them to, so we can't take them anymore because we can't let the people.
Are you in California?
No, I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there's so many homeless people in California. I can't even believe it.
But they said, we can't let the people into our location, so we can't give them to them. So we've been kind of in a holding pattern. I have 20 cats sitting in my house right now, trying to figure out where to get them, give them away to. But
well, I hope soon they can get them from you.
Yeah,
I'm sure they need them.
So this is a nice change from doing all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
So.
Okay, let's see. Tracy, did you want to come on? Did you have any questions? She said that she likes the animals, Robin.
Oh, Tracy's going. Tracy, I hope you feel better.
Yes, definitely. Hope you feel better. I might see you tomorrow then. Okay, you guys, we are going to, there we go. We are done, I believe, unless you have any other questions or concerns, Robin or Sabrina. I know you're still on.
Thank you.
I saw your post already, Sabrina.
Yeah, I'll get a picture and post it on the Facebook.
Yeah, you can see Sabrina's there too.
Yeah.
Oh, she just says thank you so much. It was fun.
I'm so glad you were here, Sabrina.
Well, Melody, I cannot thank you enough for doing this again, doing Encore. Of course, you are absolutely amazing. I love you as a teacher. Didn't hear about you before our venture because I don't usually venture outside of my little bubble. So I'm very happy that we were able to have you join us. I've learned so much from you, and I know all the students will definitely say the same thing. So thank you so much. For
my pleasure.
And I'm glad you're able to do it in the middle of a ranch. That's absolutely amazing.
It's pretty awesome. Thank goodness for technology.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again. We are signing off now.
Okay.
Have an amazing rest of the Saturday, everybody. Have a good evening. Sleep well.
Everybody have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.